I am Shaggy. I am Philalitheia. And I am still getting ready. Whoops. So, while I let my shoes fall out and I still enjoy a little bit of smokity smokes while I still got it. No, I went and got it yesterday, so I got it. I got plenty of it. I am going to sit here for a little while longer. My tent door open so I can get nice and cold, so I don't want to get comfortable and stay. I'm going to leave. I could be packing up my backpack, I guess. I'm not going to do that. I might have a... I might eat my chips. Hey. I didn't get as cold last night, or I was able to insulate this with my body in a way that I haven't been able to the last couple of nights. Neat. So I was thinking last night about something I could talk about in this space for the channel, and then I fell asleep, and I don't remember what it was. I was thinking that I could write something today instead of playing any kind of video game. But that's a story for another time. Instead, I have remembered another topic, another subject that I wanted to talk about for the channel. My mother had this idiom. She had this thing that she used to say, this axiom, this aphorism. Those all mean the same thing, that she used to say a lot. She used to say it about inconveniences, pain, itching, for example, illness. Things that are otherwise annoying but won't kill you. She used to say it's all a game of mind over matter. It's all about mind over matter. She used to say, I don't mind because the thing doesn't matter. You know, I was thinking about that in terms of how people can get confused, that I can turn over emotionally so quickly, especially from people saying and doing hurtful things to me. And the answer is one of mind over matter. I don't mind because by not minding, I don't remind myself to make them right. So in the long term, the things they're saying don't matter. And so we just move on. We just focus on what does matter. We keep our minds on what does matter. If millennials had actually survived disasters, they would have known this, because this is actually a post-disaster mindset that I have. It's a post-traumatic mindset that I have, actually, but certainly a post-disaster. Post-despair. It was my mother's way of working through and past her despair, because we don't just stop. We can't just stop. So we focus on what matters and what's going to matter in the future. Because what matters to us right now might not matter to us in 5 minutes. It might not matter to us in 15 minutes. That's why I actually say, like when I'm playing Final Fantasy VIII, or when I'm playing any of these games or doing anything in my life, and I know that it's not the most efficient way to spend my time, I say, but this matters to me right now. And it may or may not matter to me later, but it matters to me right now, so I'm doing it right now. But that's really as much of that as there is. That was just something I was thinking as I was walking home the other night. As I came down the hill, I thought to myself, I don't mind that this is difficult, because it's not going to matter in the long run that it's difficult now. It'll be easier tomorrow. Same yesterday as I'm tromping through all that snow. It's like this is difficult right now, but I'm not going to mind in the long run because it's going to be more difficult on my way back, and it's not going to be as difficult next time. So we don't mind now because it doesn't matter now. In fact, walking home was easier, and I'm not as sore as I thought I would be. I ate well. I got a good night's sleep. An actually good night's sleep. Did he eat any of these carrots? Well, he didn't. Did he try? They froze probably before I was able to even get to them. He tried, but they were frozen. Sorry, buddy. Everything is frozen, man. I can't leave you food. I guess I could buy you nuts, but that's just... If I'm gonna buy them food, I would rather just buy a bag of damn rat food and stick it where you can find it. But we move on. I hope he got some of it. He was running around in here like an asshole all damn night. But part of me thinks he does that because this is a place that he can run around like an asshole, and that's not cold. Not as cold. Because he runs around the outside too. Climbs around in my bags, runs around the outside. I got him I got a little bundle of carrots and celery from Wingstop last night with my French fries. I had Wendy's for lunch, so I just had French fries for dinner. And so I got him some celery and carrots. And it looks like he nibbled at it, but it was already frozen. Probably it was already a block of ice by the time, or they were all probably already a block of ice by the time he got to it. Hey, warrior lover, what's up? Are you a lover of warriors, or are you a warrior who is a lover? Probably if you were to reach for the Latin phrase warrior come lover, that wouldn't make it easier to distinguish what you mean. Warrior Cats is a book that you like. Heard that? Oh, like right now, I don't mind the cold because it's not going to matter in an hour. I'm just glad that my legs, that I had the strength necessary to make the walk. I was really concerned that I was going to be dragging my ass all the way back and that I wasn't going to be able to lift my legs by the time I got to the hill. I was fine. Slept well. And was able to push through the waking up with panic attacks. So I was fine. We're getting better at those. Those are about carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. Those aren't really about actual panic. Those are about, I'm suffocating. I'm in Ohio, Cody. That's just going to be a thing. I don't know what that means. Common. Never mind. I was going to have it so that it's not pointing quite so much up at me. Whatever. Oh. So, if I'm organizing my thoughts for what to do with my day, I've been awake for a while now, actually. I've spent the last several hours meditating, thinking, organizing my thoughts. Um, experiencing some of what I experienced yesterday in Final Fantasy VIII again. Working my way through yesterday, letting my body wake up at its own pace, warming up, just kind of being, not in any real hurry to go anywhere. But if I'm looking at my analytics, if I'm looking at the responses to what I'm doing and the engagement, the participation in the things that I'm doing right now, if I'm looking at what I'm getting participation in right now, the RPG legacy is taking some time for people to understand. So if I'm going to continue doing the games from the 80s, the Wizardry and Ultima series, and I might be bouncing to Ultima 2, I might not be coming back to Wizardry 1, and I might talk about that when I bounce to Ultima 2. Those aren't getting participation. Wizardry gets curiosity glances and then bounces, and that's fine. I respect all of this, but Final Fantasy VIII is holding your attention, and Mass Effect is holding your attention, and it's not for nothing, but I'm leaning into the stories of those games, so the catch it or you miss it is real, and the they don't get rewatches, but you just have to watch it in the future for what you missed. Is real with those, and so I am drawn to just go back to 8. Let's just beat 8 is like where I'm drawn to right now. But Mass Effect story is stupid as fuck, and that's the why I think it's holding your attention. Not your attention, but holding the attention of people who are watching me play it, is because the story of Mass Effect is stupid as fuck, entirely contrived, and the gameplay is awful. And so what I'm doing is trivializing it and demonstrating how contrived and stupid it is while we play it. And so 8 as a contrast is fun. And so I'm drawn to go back to play those games. I'm drawn to when I hit the top of the hill, when I get back to Panera. I'm drawn to go back to 8, even though Wizardry or Ultima are really what are supposed to be in the slot, or East 2. Both of those, all three of those, are sitting in the, I'll get to that pile, because I've also got Barony and Balatro and Sol Kesto that I want to get to. I want to get back to. And so the longer I sit here thinking about it, the less time I give myself to execute. But even if I don't get there before noon, that's still a 7-hour day. 7.5 if I stay until 7:30. And if I left right now, I'd get there at 11. So I'm in Ohio. Better. So that's where I'm at as far as that. None of these games independently is drawing an income, but Barony, Sol Kesto, and Balatro were gifts from the producer of the channel, Mr. S. So they're what I should be playing. At least for a few hours. So we'll see. I may as well eat if I'm going to sit here. Maybe for you, Rhea. For me, they're carbs and calories. Morning, Other. What up? Okay. Thank you for sharing, Rhea. Cauliflower puffs probably have fewer calories. Probably a lot fewer carbohydrates. No. I'm not ice fishing. Hello, degenerate. Probably I'm not your brother, though. What about oatmeal? Okay, degenerate. Okay. Do I have oatmeal, Rhea? Or am I going to get boiling water? I'm in Ohio, Other. Yell at you if I choose to. Don't say dumb shit. I think the argument is actually that all people have to live it to know it. You say so, Joe. It. Fine, Jake. You see what's up, though, buddy. I assume every Jake is 6 years old. They're wise, but they are ridges. My khakis. The shoe fits, Rhea. Hello again, Joe. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you, buddy. The commercial for what, Cody? No, I don't got it. I think you might be talking about Jake from State Farm. That wasn't the first Jake that came to mind. Hello, Paul. What up? Good morning. Why are you asking me questions, Swanky? It's warming up. Thank you, Matthew. I did. Thank you. When I was reading through them yesterday, you may not have been on. And I probably didn't say your name, just in case. But yes, I did, and thank you. Every penny helps. Every penny means a lot to me. Every single penny looks like success. Hi, Patrick. My night was great. Got warm, got comfortable, fell right to sleep. In Ohio, Matthew. I don't know how anyone's broke in Philadelphia, but I don't live in Philadelphia. Not really, Brian. I didn't plan to do anything but, Brianna. Thank you. No, Jimmy. Do you? Jake? Yeah. It'll be warmer in about 10 days. In Ohio. Dado. Get you some chips. Sounds uncomfortable, Jimmy. Well, if I went to church, I wouldn't be meeting good people now. How long? Hi, Amira. I'm sorry I missed you last night. I didn't see your chat, but thank you for being there for so long. Some is too few. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Amira. It's anime. I don't have long hair. You can ask the question. I don't have to answer it. I know you do, Amira. That's like the one thing I know about you for sure. My favorite anime? Probably Dragon Ball Z. I'd have to think about it. Because if I tell you Girls Bravo, you're not going to understand. My favorite song changes depending on my mood. I usually just tell people Tools Lateralis. I didn't like Attack on Titan. I watched the first season and that was enough for me. I'd have to really think about it. I'd have to really dig into my memory. I watched a bunch of anime all at once, and so I'd have to think about it. Oh, I remember. My favorite anime is Space Dandy. He's a dandy guy in space. Cowboy Bebop is good. I haven't watched enough of Cowboy Bebop to say that I like it, to make that claim. There we go. Hi, Glennis. You guys went quiet on me. Pulled the rug out from under me. Why'd you get bashful all of a sudden? in Ohio. I don't know nobody's going to take my stuff. There was a homeless black dude wandering the parking lot yesterday when I grabbed my backpack, had my backpack on. I walked through the parking lot behind the Kohl's without my backpack, and I came out from behind the Kohl's with my backpack. And I know he saw me because he meandered that way. And so I didn't know that he wasn't going to steal my stuff or destroy my home just to do it. Well, last year around Halloween, some kids threw rocks through my tent. Had a great big fucking hole in it until I could replace it last summer. Gamble every day. As I was returning to my tent last night, I spent the walk home running through the backup plan scenario, what I'm going to do if I come and find that he's slashed my tent to pieces just because. Oh, hey, look who's here. I'm going to turn this way. This isn't Lucas. This is Molly. Can you hear her? See it? That was the mole. He lives down there at the foot of the tent. I think he's decided I don't have any food for him here. I don't. He wouldn't like anything I've got anyway. They're supposed to be insectivores. Like, they eat worms and bugs and stuff. I'm surprised he's even awake. Yeah. Oh, you know what? He probably could smell the chips I'm eating right now. Well, that ain't... Here, buddy. That's something I can do. I was done with these. Let me just dump the crumbs all over where you live. How about that, pal? He's only this big. He's blind. He saw him belly flop, trying to climb up my tent to alert me that he wanted what I had. He and Lucas this summer, they were mock fighting, so I would do that for them. They would come out and they would squeak and yell at one another, and they would like they were fighting over the food. So I would dump it out down there where they were, and then they would divvy it up and eat. Yeah, for sure, Paul. You guys share with me, even though I'm conscious that you don't have as much as you might, or others. So I try to pass that forward. I have a mouse friend, and I have a rabbit friend, and I have deer that come around to see if I've got anything good, and I thought about that yesterday. I need to make sure that the things I might have that the deer want aren't close enough to my tent that when they bend down to eat them, they punch holes in my tent with their heads. I don't know how long they have antlers. Like, I don't know if they have antlers in the winter or not. And a raccoon came to visit about a week ago. But I don't have enough food, and I don't keep it open. And I give them access to my trash over there. As you heard, the little critters will climb through my trash to get the salt out of these bags, get the crumbs out of the bags, stuff like that. And that's why I lay them down over there so they can get in and out without feeling like I'm trying to trap them, or without getting trapped. I don't want dead mouse and mole friends. But yeah, I've been thinking about that. I've been concerned about that if Lucas decided to bring his whole family, I'd have a problem. But actually, now that you mentioned it, and now that I've mentioned it, I probably have made enough money this month that I can afford to buy them a bag of food. And if I buy him a bag of worms, actually, I can put the worms out, and they're already frozen. I just buy them from the freezer. So that wouldn't negatively affect his diet, the mole, very much at all, if at all. He'd probably be very happy about that. If he's coming out looking for food, times are tough. Okay, take care, Amira. Enjoy your lunch. Yeah, they ate most of the... No, they didn't. They had no interest in the carrots and the celery because they're thirsty. My water does freeze. That was like a week of trash. My water absolutely does freeze. I've got like 6 or 8 bottles over here that are just partially full of frozen water. It's been negative 10 degrees for like a week. Shit, that's the worst. Oh, it's like the itch inside a cast. Oh no. Okay, that's horrible. Probably didn't want to do that. I don't know how this one didn't freeze. I tried to. That was gross. I shouldn't have done that. Ice isn't all ice. Don't eat snow. So yeah. Well, wait a minute. It's Sunday. I'm going to play Final Fantasy VIII. It's not because I hate you, Mr. S. It's because it's not Monday. It's because it's not Monday through Friday. Take care, Jakey. Oh, no. I don't even know if I can get in there. That itch is so bad. Oh, my God. That's not what I want to feel. Why does that feel like that? I'm fine, David. That's what we're exploring, actually, as I play it, Mr. Bobo. It gets so much hate because people aren't playing it properly. They're playing it to get as quickly as possible through the cutscenes. And if you do that, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and your characters are going to be seriously underpowered. So that the longer you do that, the more difficult doing that becomes. So that's one of the reasons I'm playing it for the channel, is to push back on this notion that the junction system was obtuse or arcane or like calculus, that it was even math at all, is absurd to me. So that's what we're exploring. I'm not going to be out in this cold for much longer, Dave. It wears on me sometimes right as I'm closing up my sleeping bag. And I get overwarm. Then it's like, motherfucker. The middle ground between overwarm and freezing to death in my sleep is not really a fine line, but it gets bothersome to manage. That's for sure. But bothersome, that's kind of what I was talking about this morning when I started. Bothersome, I can manage. Bothersome, I can largely ignore. I can get through because it's a mind over matter situation. I don't mind because by the time it's noon the next day, it's not gonna matter that I was cold the night before. It's not gonna be my material reality for long. Final Fantasy VIII, you're not supposed to level. You're supposed to deconstruct the world and use the card system in order to have um, to have good junction magic. Don't level up. Leveling up makes the monsters more powerful. You don't want to level up. You get powerful by junctioning magic to your stats, and you get especially powerful by grinding AP using the card system and getting no XP for as long as possible. I'm midway through disc 2 and my guys aren't even level 20 yet, and we're one-shotting most of the bosses. You do not want to level in that game. You cannot just grind your characters to level 100 and hope you're going to get better. Your characters don't passively gain stats when they level. They only gain stats if they have a stat bonus from one of the GFs actually junctioned. If you don't do that, you're getting worse every time you level. But they did that on purpose. You have to use the junction system. You have to sit and grind drawing the magic from the enemies. You have to play the card game and junction, or not junction, but mod those cards down into resources and then mod all of those resources down into draws, into magic. It's an extremely engaging gameplay loop. It's exactly what you're doing today when you're doing all these engaged crafting systems. It's just the opposite. You're deconstructing everything into its component element, its component magic. It's awesome. Yeah, the game wants you to play it. Weird. And that's what we're doing while we play it. I spent the first 12 hours of the game just grinding up spells so that we could play through the rest of the first disc with encounters turned off, just going to the checkpoints and playing the story. And now because we spent the time. No, Dave. I have a I have a rechargeable hand warmer that I throw down in my feet because the foot of the tent, the foot of my sleeping bag gets wet, and so it freezes into a block. I've got a good sleeping bag and good clothes, and the carbohydrates. That's why I ate a bunch of potatoes before I went to sleep. A bunch of French fries. Come in here with the fries in my belly, already insulated, my body already warm from the walk. Climb into the sleeping bag, get cold again because the cold presses around me, beat that insulated inside the sleeping bag, fall asleep. Pretty sure the potatoes are just carbohydrates. Pretty sure that's all starch is. It's carbs. I could be wrong. I just threw away the bag, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Pretty sure if you're trying to do an Atkins diet, what you're avoiding is carbohydrates, and so you're avoiding potatoes. Pretty sure. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. For sure, Dave. Yeah, you're just an idiot, Michael. Maybe at a run. Not in my situation. I don't know where you think I'd put it. My tent is 7 foot by 4 foot. Don't know where the fuck you think I'd put something hot enough to set it on fire. Why the hell am I going to sit outside where it's cold? And I can just put these shoes on and go up to Panera and pay them to make me food. Portable stove just sounds like something that people might want to steal. He's just an idiot. Maybe, Mike. I don't know if hot air balloons break. Do you want to know how or do you want to know where? Because those are different questions, David. Need assistance with what? What do you think I'm doing that might need a two-man crew? Heater pilot? I don't know what that is. Oh, you're still going on the whole hot air balloon. You're trying to be funny. Emphasis on trying. There's been a mobile version on the phone for a decade, but that doesn't answer my question. You wanted to know whether you asked how or where. And so I was just clarifying that I only had to answer one of those. And then you started hypothesizing. You could have just hypothesized and waited. If I'm going to do it later, you could have just like waited. My mom used to say when we were watching movies and I'd ask questions, she's like, if the question is a good question, the movie will answer it later. Now, maybe your mom didn't hate you, so she didn't treat you like you were an adult who could figure things out for yourself. But I thought she loved me. Maybe I just want you to shut up. And if we're just going to hypothesize, just theorize wildly. Welcome back, Jake. Good for you, buddy. Doesn't seem like you gave it enough time to really enjoy it. Sounds like you just kind of did it. I have a laptop. A0 facts. I don't know why that should be not your first guess. I am not Greek, no. I misspell it so that I'm not mistaken for Greek. sound like your girlfriend now, Jake. I don't know why you're talking to me about your eating habits, Jake, but a civilized person would consider what you're doing extremely rude and insensitive. World of Tanks. Heard that, buddy. I've not played it, but I know people like it. Alright, let's get one more preparatory hit, and then I'm going to stick my feet in these shoes because I've gone and let my legs get cold, and then we're going to get up, and we're going to go to Panera. I put hand warmers in my shoes, Ronnie. Yep. A civilized person would consider that forgetting mindlessness or thoughtlessness, and they would think less of you for it. They would judge you harshly on your thoughtlessness. Well, you clearly aren't, and by all evidence, I'm not, so. I'm not allowed to have civilized responses to uncivilized behavior. But now we're having the conversation, which is the civilization process. Now maybe you'll be disinclined to be so forgetful in the future. And you can say of yourself, at least I'm civilizing. I don't think you guys fully understand what you call the colonization era. They weren't colonizing anything. They were civilizing. They didn't colonize the Native Americans. They civilized them. You can't colonize a people. A colony is a foreign extension of is a foreign extension of a larger civilized body. The Greek colonies, the Jewish colonies are diaspora. The American colonies were not the Native Americans who lived here. The colonists were not the Native Americans who lived here. They were the civilized people who lived in the uncivilized place. They were the civilizers. They weren't colonists. Idiots. The neoliberal, postmodern, broadly American democratic worldview fails the people who look through it at their words. It fails at their view. Their eyes are so dumb, they don't know what they're looking at. But they want to tell me that I have to be better than what I am. Yikes. this down. Who is they? They didn't genocide the Native Americans. Trail of Tears wasn't a genocide. They relocated the Native Americans. They stripped them of resources and they killed their leaders. That's not genocide. You're just an idiot. I swear to fucking God, Jake, you're the biggest fucking asshole I've gone to meet today. That's twice, so goodbye. I am not your mom. Not getting the hint isn't fucking cute to me. I'm not your girlfriend. Your floppy hair isn't sexually selective. Go fuck yourself, Jake. Couldn't be gay. Cocksuckers are fucking useless. Couldn't put you to work at anything that needs doing. Why the fuck? Let's move on. Yeah. It's been cold for about 10 days. Something like that. Okay. Here we go. No, I'm not frustrated with life. Yeah, it's been -10 the last few days. It's a little warmer today. I don't know what it is right now. It's been cold. Feet are cold. I am going to not walk you guys down there because I can get warmer if I'm not talking to you guys. I don't actually like to be cold if I don't have to be. So, oh, that's why. That's why it was on. I see. Mistakes are made by me. That happens sometimes. That's a lot, actually. Okay. Going, Firo, David? And why do I care what you think? Have you ever considered that? What does your observation that I'm going, whatever you mean by Firo, mean to me? And if it's just an observation stated out loud, why did it need to be stated at all? I mean, you could have just stated it out loud to the room you're in. You didn't have to say it to me. Why do I need that information? What does it mean to me? I know what it means. I know what it means in a dictionary. That doesn't mean that that idiot knows what it means, and it doesn't mean that he's not idiomatically. It doesn't mean he's not being poetic, or metaphorical, or idiomatic, or that he's abstracting in some way that isn't found in Webster's dictionary. I can't know that. And again, why am I spending this cognitive effort on it? What does it mean to me? Why was it said to me? It could have easily been said to the person beside you. This is a question I ask of my narrative fiction all the time. When I say my, I take ownership of everything in front of me. So if I'm consuming it, it's mine. But this is a question I ask of narrative fiction all the time. Why are these characters saying this? Why is this being presented to me now? And sometimes the answer is because you're going to need it later. Sometimes it's not. All right. I'm going to zip up here. There we go. It does weird having no football today. Well, right, that's what I'm asking, Dave. Why say it? Why did you say it to me? Why did you feel compelled to say it at all? A civilized person would have said nothing. So why did you say anything? And why did you say that thing? You are back, Amira, just as I'm leaving. Because I'm not going to get a satisfactory answer to this question, which will lead to me staying live for this walk. Because why? Because you guys don't have the answers to your whys. You don't know why you do what you do. When I say, why did you do what you did? You hear your parents looking at you in bewildered, disgusted astonishment, saying, why? With all of the information and all the money that I have given you, did you do that? Yeah, see, the bewildered disgust, David.